Coming up in this episode, the Rugby Football League meets for changes to disciplinary. The Melbourne Storm announced new academy setup. And a new deal for Warrington Wolves forward. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Hail Dominance, Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. So, we begin today's episode with the RFL, as there are proposed changes coming with regards to the disciplinary action that players may face going into 2023. This is to what many people think is to align up with the NRL mode of disciplinary, where the emphasis is on monetary value rather than the suspension of games when it comes to upholding any decisions due to foul play. The RFL statement says proposed changes to the on-the-field misconduct rules will be presented at today's meeting of the RFL Council, following a review into procedures for dealing with on-field misconduct carried out in consultation with clubs. The review was recommended by the RFL executive in July, 5 years after a previous club-led review, and partly in response to the impacts of changes to charging and sentencing guidelines that were introduced in 2022 season, leading to a significant increase in the number of charges and resulting suspensions, all introduced with the priority of player safety. This saw multiple bans for the likes of James Bentley and Liam Watt, while Will Price was hit by a heavy 10-match ban as early as round 6 in the Super League season. The statement continued that clubs at each tier of the professional competitions were asked to nominate representatives of the review group, which comprised of Robert Hicks, the former referee and RFL Director of Operations and Legal, Richard Yates, RFL Head of Legal, Gareth Carvell, Rugby League Players Association and Greater Manchester Borough Union, GMB Union, my apologies, Neil Hampshire of Hunslet, Gary Hetherington of Leeds Rhinos, their Chief Executive, Kevin Nicholas of Batley Bulldogs, and Mike Rush of St Helens. It has involved consideration of how other contact and collision sports and the NRL regulated the areas of foul play and misconduct, and further consultation with club chairs and CEOs, coaches and players, match officials, the match review panel, and Operation Rules Tribunal members, as well as their chairs. The first key finding of the group was that the process followed the match review panel meetings. Operation Rules are thorough, professional, and appropriate to ensure the sport continues to meet its requirements to clubs, players, and fans, says the statement. Robert Hicks, seen here in his Sunday best, said, "We always recognised that the 2022 would be a challenging season for our disciplinary procedures, given the amount of change which was introduced, and we therefore envisaged this off-season as being an appropriate time for a thorough review. To be honest, I would have thought halfway through the 2022 season with scope to say this is what's going to happen in 2023 would have been more appropriate, given that players are now in pre-season and there's possible changes that are going to happen to the training, playing, and also disciplinary is going to happen as the season kicks off for friendlies or even matches. But anyway, we'll digress. As with the previous review in 2017, it was essential that this review involved and in many ways was driven by representatives from clubs at all levels, as well as having a strong player's voice. The findings of the review underline both the difficulties faced by the members of the match review panel and the operations tribunal, and the fact that they perform an essential role in the sport to a consistently high level. The review has reinforced the importance of a robust response to foul play, especially when it involves contact to the head and whiplash. As such, the changes introduced for 2022 in terms of changeable offences have been maintained. I meant chargeable there. A number of changes have been recommended for 2023, and in all cases, adjustments to recognise the changing landscape while maintaining the emphasis on player safety and increasing player accountability. It is important that all stakeholders understand the need to change behaviour, and we believe these changes are in the best place to do so. So it looks like that it's set that the RFL will be following the NRL's rule where players are being fined more than the banning, so that we can keep the competitive edge on the field as well as players not missing the season. But it does give a momentary pause because they're being hit in the pocket, a place where most players will come into it. Anyway, my thoughts on this is twofold. First of all, I'm accustomed to, because of the sports over here, players getting banned for their foul and indiscretions that they commit on the pitch, whether it's golf all the way through to rugby league. Union even does it. That's how bad that sport is. Anyway, but on the flip side, Will Price got the suspension at the beginning of the season for 10 games, which is kind of fair for the actual tackle. But he is very young in his career. He's only, just turned 20? If you put that ban on someone who is 33 years old, you might not see him for the rest of the season. And that might be his rugby league career completely gone. And there are still great players out there of that age that can miss out a sizable part of their rugby league career due to a ban of this size. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Now we move on to Melbourne Storm, as a new wave of young rugby league talent has hit the training field in Melbourne with the launch of the Storm Academy, supported by Storm's major partners Red Z and official partner J-Bro. 12 young footballers from Victoria, Queensland, New South Wales and New Zealand have been identified as future NRL prospects and will learn all that it takes on and off the field to be a first-grade player with the Storm. They are under the guidance of two former Storm representative players, Academy coach Matt Duffy, who is a Crosscodes international for New Zealand, and recruitment and pathways manager Tim Glasby, and will form part of the Melbourne's Jersey Flag squad in 2023. The Academy is a key part of Storm's plans to develop more homegrown players through their system, and Storm CEO Justin Rodsky said Storm had a strong reputation for growing and developing its own talent during the years of the NYC Under-20s competition. However, those numbers have reduced since the competition ended in 2017. The Storm Academy is something we are very passionate about and represents the future of Melbourne Storm, Rodsky said. Our Academy members will receive the intensive coaching and education they need to become an elite player, well versed in what we do as a club on and off the field. If you look at our 2020 Premiership players, the vast majority had never played in the NRL before coming to the Storm, including a number of our under-20s graduates. The end of the NYC competition had created a gap in our pathway, and now that has been filled. While we are increasing our focus on producing our own NRL players, there will always be a home from home for more experienced recruits here in Melbourne. That tradition has existed since day one of Storm and will continue in the future. Pleasingly, we have 3 Victorians who are part of the Academy programme, and we are also currently have 3 Victorians in our wider NRL squad for 2023. Dean Jeremiah, Young Tonu Maipia and Sua Fa'alogo. We'd love to see that number be substantially more in the future. Academy coach Matt Duffy said there was now a clear pathway for elite juniors to develop through the Storm system and the end goal of graduating into the NRL squad. We're committed to developing our own players here in Melbourne, he said. We have brought together a great group of young men who are dedicated to improving their game and achieving their full potential. The Academy squad also includes Matt Hills and Gabriel Satrick, who are this year's members of the Coles First Nation Pathways programme, which was launched by the Storm last season. Hills, who plays as a fullback, is originally from Kununurra in the Northern Territory, I apologise if I got that incorrect, and has been studying at St Brendan's College at Yeppoon, Queensland. Satrick hails from Yarrabah in the far north Queensland and was hooker in the Australian schoolboy squad this year as a student from Ipswich High. The Coles First Nation Pathways programme, which aims to provide more opportunities for young Indigenous players, has already shown its value, with first-year member AJ Gudgeon earning a development contract with the Storm for the next 2 seasons. The programme members receive a full immersive experience at the Storm, focusing on professional and personal development, mentoring and elite training. It is one thing that Melbourne Storm have been lacking in recent years due to the NYC Cup being stopped, so that there's no pathway through to the squad for Victorians. But now the state have a jersey flag team for the youngsters to be brought into, with hopes and dreams of being Melbourne Storm players. Hopefully it'll bear fruit in the years to come. And finally, Warrington Wolves have announced that James Harrison has signed a new contract extension with the club, which sees him stay at the Hallowell Jones until November 2025. The 26-year-old prop has impressed last year in his debut season in the Primrose and Blue, having stepped up from the Championship. Harrison recovered from an ACL injury to feature as an ever-present in Warrington's second half of the 2022 campaign, making 11 appearances for the club. His dominant performances have seen him rewarded with the number 8 shirt ahead of the 2023 Betfred Super League season, and that new sparkly 3-year deal. Speaking about his new contract extension, James Harrison said, "I'm buzzing to have signed a new deal, and there's no place I'd rather be. The way the club looked after me when I was injured was first class. Everything's perfect for me here, and I'm really enjoying it." Darryl Powell was the big reason for my contract extending my contract. He trusts me, likes the way I play, and gets the best out of me. It was a shock to be given the number 8 shirt for next season, but a proud moment. At the end of the day though, it's just a number and I need to keep fighting for my place each week. The pack is unbelievable this year, full of internationals and experience. Working with these players week in week out will bring out the best of me. The 6'4" front rower started his rugby league career with Batley Bulldogs in 2016, playing 48 times for the club between 2016 and 2018, with a short spell in Oxford with 3 games on loan. For Batley, he scored 17 tries in 3 seasons for the club. Featherstone Rovers was his next port of call after that impressive stint, where he scored 18 tries in 46 appearances. But there was a loan to Leeds Rhinos during that period for 4 games from Featherstone, as he started to impress and take notice of was being noticed by many a Super League club. Warrington Wolves were the next who came calling, and 12 games in an injury-impacted season was impressive enough to extend the contract of the Malta international. With 113 games and 35 tries to his name, he is looking to build on that to improve on his stats. Warrington Wolves head coach Daryl Powell added, "When we signed James, I was 100% certain he was going to be a consistent Super League player. After his injury, that became a bit tough for him. However, his efforts for us last year showed how good he is going to be in the future and why I feel this deal is a great one for the club. I'm looking forward to seeing him grow over the coming years, but I'm super confident that he will be an integral part of our success." It's hopefully going to be a big year for Warrington. Not always their year, but this time for Harrison, he's up against some tough competition when it comes to a front row place. With James Vaughan coming, sorry, not James Vaughan, Paul Vaughan that's come into the club, and the former Australian international will cause massive disruption for any Super League sides that he'll come up against. Harrison will need to piggyback off the back of that, but hopefully a cap and produce and progress, as Daryl Powell says. We'll have to see how 2023 goes on, but Warrington have got a big lad that can make a lot of meters. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates or new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below about the episode that we've gone through. There's a lot to go through, but I'm open to conversations over my stories. Tell me what your thoughts in the comment section, and please be respectful. I'm always looking to improve this channel. Please do so. Anyway, if you want to contact me for anything, please contact me on here, because then everyone can see, people can answer your questions too. And I will end the episode there. Thank you so much once again. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And I'll end the episode by saying I wish you all the best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.